What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Negoose. So, it's been a while since I've done a match analysis where I pretty much just go over a match and I just pause it here and there just to explain and show you guys what goes on through my mind throughout the matches and why I do the things that I do. So, in this video, I'm going to be showcasing a match analysis for the Hag, and I'm going to be pausing it at pretty much critical moments just so that you guys can have an idea of why I place traps in certain spots and how I force survivors into traps. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into the match analysis. Alrighty guys, and welcome into the match analysis with the Hag. So let's talk about the map that we spawn in on. We spawn in on the Gas Heaven, which is one of the more difficult auto haven maps due to its size. Okay, it's a very big map, and if you don't have the distance add-ons, you're gonna have a really tough time on this map. But let's talk about where we spawn, because spawns are very important with Hag, guys. And for me personally, I don't like spawning in the middle. If survivors spawn near you, it's gonna be easy for them to point you out and start harassing you, and it's gonna be a very rough time for you if you don't have any traps down. It'll make more sense to just talk about my build real quick. So we got Franklin's Demise. You guys know why I run this. It's there to get rid of problematic items such as flashlights, medkits. I brought in Nurse's Calling so that anyone who's healing nearby, I'll know exactly where they are, go over there, intercept their healing. And yeah, Sloppy Butcher, so it'll take survivors longer to heal. And if we intercept their healing, any healing progress they put in the survivor, it's gonna deplete thanks to the Hemorrhage status effect. And we got Septic Touch, so any survivor performing a healing action is going to suffer from the Exhausted and the Blindness status effect. Let's talk about the add-ons real quick. We got the Brown setting speed add-on. This just makes you set your traps a bit faster. And we got the Dried Cicada, which increases the distance from where you could teleport to your traps. Okay, so yeah, we spawn in the middle, and right here is very important. Your early game is very important as Hag, and Hag is one of the very few killers that your early game really matters, and if you don't put it to good use, you are gonna lose a match. So let's talk about the generator spread. All right, so as you can see, we have a generator right beside us. We have one here, and one hold up, we have one back there. So this is an amazing gen spread that we can control with Hag, and we do have distance add-ons as well. So what I'm doing here is quickly moving away from the middle because I don't want to get spotted out right away, and I'm just putting traps down quickly. Guys, do not take 20 steps to put traps. Just put down traps, even if they're not in the best spots. Put them down. You could always place traps in better spots later. So we got an early hit on the Dwight there. And as you can see, when you see him, look at this. This body language here from this Dwight, right away let me know that he's watching me as I put traps. Keep in mind, guys, I checked his profile before the match started. He had well over 5K hours. So I knew this Dwight was a good survivor. So what I did here is I tested him to see if he's gonna harass my trap. So I put a trap here and I leave, and as you can see, he's hovering around. He wants to harass the trap, and what they do is they perfectly distance themselves from the trap so that when you teleport, you won't get an insta swing. So I don't even bother teleporting. What I'm doing now is I'm hiding myself. I'm trying to block line of sight so he can't see me. I'm using the rocks and the tires to hide myself because Hag is a very small killer. So it's quite easy for you to hide. And yeah, he kind of lost me here. We see them healing here when Nurse is calling. She pretty much just wasted time healing him because the Hemorrhage status effect ate up all that healing progression she put into the Dwight. So now we applied Sloppy Butcher to 2 survivors, so they're probably trying to heal here. So in the meanwhile, I could just set up more traps. I believe he dead-hearted there because we should have hit that. I put a trap here to shut down Shaq, vault the window. And right here, guys, is a very crucial moment in this match because you gotta know how to force survivors in your traps. Okay, so let's look at the path that this Dwight's taking. We can see he's running directly to this pallet, so we know he's gonna loop around here pretty much, right? So what I do is I don't want to take the direction he's going in, because if he throws the pallet down, he's just gonna shift W to main building, and we don't want that because we have no traps over there. We want to push him towards our traps. Our traps are back behind us where we placed in the beginning earlier, right? So what I do is I push from the side, so now he's kind of forced to loop around here, which he did. He could have threw the pallet down if he wanted to, but he's a good survivor, so I know he wants to conserve on pallets. So yeah, he loops around here. I put a trap down here to shut the loop down. He doesn't want to challenge the trap, so he's gonna leave. And now we pushed him into our traps. We get a down on him, and that's how you force survivors into your traps. This is very important to know as Hag. And now we have him hooked in our web. We can see scratch marks here on the tire and the box back there, so we know someone's in the area. There's the Nea. I believe I heard like the bush move. She does have Iron Will. And now this is the power position I always tell you guys to look out for. If you have someone on the hook and someone slugged within your web, set up more traps so that you could be prepared and try to capitalize by getting injures on these survivors. Okay, so now when you look at it, if we were to pick up that Nea, right, and hook her, that Hattie was already in the area. So the Hattie would, while I'm carrying the Nea to the hook, that Hattie would have already got the unhook and they already would have been long gone out of my web. But now that we have the Dwight on the hook, the Nea slugged, the Hattie and the Cheryl are now forced to come in my web, get the Nea off the ground or get the Dwight off the hook, and we can now just capitalize and get injures on both of them and apply sloppy to them. Okay, so this is why I say if you have someone on the hook, someone slugged in your web, do not pick up. So we get an injure on Cheryl. That's a trade. Now we can pick up Cheryl, and the Nea is still on the ground, guys. So now Dwight's injured. Hattie's probably the only one who could really do anything right now. And here's Dwight. So you can see he's very cocky. He's spinning in circles. And it's quite obvious that he has DS. He just got unhooked. He wants me to chase him. I ignore him. I'm not going to bother with him, right? He wants me to chase him, but I'm not. We don't chase. We got a nice web here, so I'm going to stay in my area. There's Cheryl. Put another trap in Shaq. There's Hattie. Hattie is spacing very, very well. As you can see, like, she avoided a lot of my traps. I don't know why the Cheryl tried. Cheryl saw me put the trap in Shaq, and she tried to challenge it, and it didn't work out for her. So we got a free down. So we get her back up in the web. And now they're healing. So meanwhile they're healing, I can set some traps down, right? And this is why I love Sloppy Butcher. It gives you some breathing room. So the longer it takes them to heal, is the more time you're going to have to place traps down. We get an insta slap on the Dwight. There's Nea trying to go for the unhook. And we get a slap on her as well. So right there, I think the Dwight dead-hearted. I kind of like angled myself to try and hit Dwight, but he it looks, yeah, because like as you can see here, he unhooked and I curved around to try to hit him, but he's nowhere in sight. So that was definitely dead hard. So it auto locked me into Cheryl there, which was unfortunate. But we get a down on her anyways. And here's Dwight. he's just looking at me. He thinks he's a shit, you know? He wants me to chase him and whatnot. We do have a trap back here. And right here is a very crucial moment. So right here, I call this the 50-50 situation at the pallet. So the Dwight now has to make the right read. If he runs back to me where I'm standing right now, he could throw the pallet down because he thinks I'm gonna teleport. Or I could just stand here, and if he drops the pallet, I get a down on him. So this is a good old 50-50 mind game with Hag. And what I do, I don't teleport. I just stand in the same spot, get a down on him. He DCs because we outplayed his ass right there, guys. So, yeah, man, that's a good old 50-50. They're trying to get the Cheryl up, which they did somehow. We get Cheryl back on the ground. And, yeah, they are in a very tough spot, guys. They're both injured. And both in my web. And what I do, I just place some more traps down. So yeah, Naya tried to challenge the trap there. She saw me put it down in shack and went down because of it. So yeah, they got the... Hattie got the Cheryl up again. And we got the Cheryl back down on the ground. So now Hattie has to get Naya off the ground, which is what she's probably doing right now, I believe. Yeah. I don't know how I didn't see them over there when Nurse is calling, but... yeah, I don't know. She's running the main building. Naya finally was able to react fast enough to my trap there, but luckily we had a trap in the middle. And we see, yeah, the Hattie was there on the hill. So we know where she is. Put a trap in front of Naya, so it's hard for the Hattie to really do anything right now. And Naya starts killing herself on hook because she knows the match is pretty much over. So yeah, I seen scratch marks behind like the main building. So we know like Hattie's somewhere around here. And yeah, that's pretty much the match, guys. So like that's how I play Hag. That's how you have to think in your matches. You have to know how to mind game survivors at loops if they like trigger a trap. And you have to know how to force survivors in your web and know when to pick up and not to pick up if you get a survivor slugged on the ground. Alright, guys. So yeah, that's it for the match analysis. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.